Welcome into another edition of the 2025 MLB Draft Spotlight Show. Cream of the crop, shortstop edition, Mr. ACC, Marek Houston of Wake Forest. Nokomis, oh, is it Nokomis, Florida? Nokomis?
Nokomis.
I get it
Nokomis.
wrong every time, man. I get it wrong every time. Marek, how are you, dude?
Doing good. Yeah, I mean, can't complain.
I love it. I love it. All right, so first question. I always kick off the show like this. Who's Marek Houston? Tell the viewers, tell the listeners, what are you about on the field? But I think more importantly, Marek Houston off the field. How do you like to spend your spare time?
Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't, I mean, I would say I don't do too much. Kind of simple guy, just video games, kind of just any sport you can think of. When I'm back home, I'm always playing with my brothers and stuff like that in the cul-de-sac, in the backyard, whatever you think. But yeah, I mean, say I'm your typical baseball player, like likes to compete in anything I do. Like to compete on the field. Like to compete with my friends here, my roommates, and like some hacky sack, cornhole, whatever you think of. So yeah,
I think you're the best defensive shortstop in the country right now. And I'm curious, you've always been that way, man. You've always been able to pick it going back to high school. Has that always been an emphasis in how you train, or is it just something that, God gifted?
yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know. It's always came natural to me. The defensive side of the field is just always been so natural. I like being out there. I've always felt like it's easier. I feel smooth out there. I feel like I can get to any ball really. Probably more than I think can actually get to. But yeah, it's always just been natural. Unlike the hitting side, there's always been things I've had to figure out, as you can see. But I feel like that's a lot I like that with everyone. It's kind of with baseball, you never know with hitting, but defensively, I try to be as consistent as possible, and that's what you look for in a shortstop. So, yeah,
Like you said, that the hitting part has always been kind of what has been a work in progress, right? Something to be developed. I
yeah,
think a big part of that is what did you weigh when you got to campus? Like 170, 165?
yeah. It was like 175 probably on a good day.
So what are you up to now?
I'm at 205 now, this fall. So, yeah, I mean, ever since I've been here, I've developed. Strength coaches are amazing here. Really dove into nutrition a little bit. Started eating the right things, gaining good muscle, this fall. So, definitely have grown in that aspect of the game and, definitely developed, being a part of the program here.
So with being at Wake Forest, you guys are always going to be dialed into the tech. You're always going to be dialed into data, right? I'm
Yeah.
curious as you have as you've put on weight, you've put on muscle. Have you become more interested in your exit velos, or is that something you like to keep your nose out of?
Yeah, I would say I don't dive too much into it myself. The coaches understand it way more than I do, and I mean if they see anything, they bring it up to us. That's kind of how I like it. I think it's how it should be. Because me being the guy trying to, I always like to look at stuff, try to make me better, and I'm like, hey, what am I doing this? But really, some of that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is what happens in the game. So I mean. Yeah, I would say it matters a little bit. You always want to hit the ball harder, as hard as you can. So yeah, exit velos matter for sure. But I mean, if you're getting base hits any way you can, then I don't try to dive too deep into it. So
What was the goal this fall and this winter, man? What were you specifically looking to improve?
yeah, just get better in any way I can. And looking on last year, it's the power, the power. You probably heard that somewhere. That's what I would always hear. But I mean, yeah, it was just an area I could get better at, and I wanted to put like stuff to it this fall, and that's what I did. Watched what I ate. Got with our nutritionist. Kept it good in the weight room like I always do. And yeah, the results showed this fall. Had a really good fall, and I'm feeling better than I ever have. So
Yeah, man, I think you slugged something like 515, 516 last year, 325, 330 hitter. I mean, you kind of took the ACC by storm. With the added weight, with the emphasis on power, you go from four. to 8 homers. Are we looking at another double up? We looking at 16 homers this year for Merrick Houston?
Hopefully, I mean, I'm not trying to go out there and do anything different. Just try and play the same game I always have. And I mean, the results will happen itself. Just got to stick to the process.
Yeah. In 23, I mean, I hope I'm not wrong with that. I'm trying to think back. You guys get to within a game of hoisting the trophy. What was that experience like for you, and what have you been able to take away from that as you develop?
Yeah, I mean, that was a one. I mean, that was a great experience for me. Being young, being scared. You always want to go back there, being kind of the guy that leads the team there. That's kind of what I've always thought of the past 2 years is being one of those guys to lead the team to get to that spot and make it further than we did. I think that's something we can do, and that's always a goal of ours for sure because we know we can do it. But definitely was big for my career and my past couple years here. Yeah, just the confidence going into the summer. That summer, knowing that I played with the best of the best. It definitely helped me, and definitely helped me last year, knowing what was coming and knowing how and what it takes to get to Omaha for sure.
One thing that you said there that I love, that I don't think people talk about enough in sports and in baseball, you were young and scared, like in a big moment, right? Because nerves is a part of the game. It's a part of sport. I'm curious, is that something that you find yourself feeling a lot? Do you still get butterflies in your stomach before each game? Like, how do you
Um,
operate?
some games for sure. I remember last year just the first game of the season. It was so many nerves. I think it was just all the excitement, just all the preparation that goes into a season. You have to get a little bit excited. You have to get a little nervous, and I think that happens to everyone. I mean, I think it's pretty natural. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it just means you're excited. It means you're out there going play. It means you care, and it means you care about your teammates. So, and then going out there, it means you care to win, and that's all good. So, yeah.
I love that, man. So, with that nerves question, in the preseason last year and in the fall, stepping in the box against Chase Burns, uh, nerves?
Yeah, I mean that's stuff you don't see ever, really. I don't think I've ever. I think that was probably one of the toughest at bats I've ever had. Even it being in a squad and it's like probably like 40 degrees outside makes it a little bit tougher. But yeah, I mean it's not easy facing a guy like that.
Yeah. Um, One more question on the baseball side, then we'll jump to some things out of left field.
Gotcha.
How about adversity? You're a guy that's had quite a journey through baseball. Have you had to fight through adversity, and is there anything specific that you can point to that has been especially kind of critical?
Yeah, I mean, I would say baseball side and not baseball side. Baseball side has just kind of been. I mean, I've had a little bit ups and downs, like injury in high school, kept me out a little bit tough on my senior year of high school. So that was tough coming into my freshman year of college. But off the field, yeah, I mean, something I remember that I'll remember for the rest of my life, and a big motivation for me is my brother had cancer when he was about 10 years old, and kind of kept him off the baseball field. And he was on my team at that point. He was playing up, um, kept him off the field. So I was just out there remembering who I'm playing for, and I still play for him today. Feels like I'm wearing his jersey again, like I did back then. But yeah, I mean that keeps me motivated every single day. Just what he went through is nothing compared to I go through. He's definitely one what I who I look up to, and what motivates me every single day, and what I play for. So
Beautiful story, man. All right, we'll get you out of here with four more questions. These are going to be kind of off the field questions.
awesome.
I'm assuming you are going through the gauntlet right now of speaking with scouts and getting to know people in your area. What's the strangest question that you've gotten so far?
That's a tough one. They all ask it's kind of the same kind of questions. But I mean there are some weird ones. Um, some of them mess with you a little bit. But the toughest question is always like, what's your weakness? Because I mean it's kind of hard to think about what your actual weakness is because I mean everyone has them, and um, I mean, some people think differently, but I would say that's the toughest question. I think the weirdest question was like, he was asking me. I think my roommate. He was meeting with my roommate next, and he was like asking me like, what can I like mess with him or something? And I was just like, I don't know, like, tell him to clean the dishes or something that he leaves out all the time. But that was one memorable moment. But
I don't know who your roommate is, but I'm gonna give you a chance to clown on him here in a minute. Let's say the let's say the entire Wake Forest team goes out to a steak dinner. Nice restaurant, nicest place you can find. Who's the one guy on that Wake Forest roster, or you know, someone from Summer Circuit, whatever? Who's the one guy
yeah,
that you wouldn't trust to order food for the whole table?
wouldn't order. Um, I would probably say going back to last year, Seaver King,
Oh,
probably.
really?
Yeah. He's not the healthiest eater, I would say. At times he gets away. But I would definitely say him if it was last year.
All right. How about Marek Houston plays 20 more years in the game? What's the one walk-up song that you're comfortable choosing that you cannot change?
Probably the one I had last year. I think everyone liked it. It was "Hurts Me" by Tory Lanez or whatever. I
Okay.
like that, and I was debating and doing it this year, but I think it's still in question. But I think you got to change it up every year. I think you have to. But
Well, not under these circumstances. It's Tory Lanez forever.
yeah, yeah,
All right,
amen.
Merrick. Last question, man. That
Yeah.
entire Wake Forest roster. Who's the one guy that you would not let date your sister?
Ooh. Um. Shoot. I'd probably say Will Ray, just because he's my roommate. We're always giving each other crap. So
I knew you'd go to the roommate, man.
yeah, I think you have to. You know him the best. So
Well, yeah, and they can't give you too much of a hard time, right? You
yeah,
live with
no,
them.
yeah, exactly.
All right, hey,
But
listen, Merrick, huge fan of the brand of baseball that you play. Keep it up. Let's see that strength tick up this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what 2025 will bring you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, be good.
Thank you.